Hello everyone, happy October, happy full moon in Aries. It's Sunday, it is the full moon in Aries, and I got my iPad and I'm going to be reading you guys' astrology, and then I'll make a separate video for your tarot cards. So I'll pull some cards for your particular sign. So I'm just going to split up the videos because it just makes more sense that way for the flow of everything. Okay, so we're going to start out with Aries. Aries, you are a fire sign, and your opposite sign Libra is going to have a full moon, a good full moon. So if you're a fire sign, this is a very powerful moon for you as well. Everyone can partake in any zodiac sign for that moon. It's just about knowing your chart and knowing what you want to work on for that particular full moon. Okay, so for Aries, we want to look at you being in the third house of Gemini, communication, what you're thinking. Thinking of your creativity and what you can do next to better yourself is what Aries is truly thinking about. We also have Chiron in Aries, and you want to think about how you want to heal yourself. Even though Chiron is retrograde, you want to really focus on how can you heal yourself? How can you make what is not right with you better? There's always room to improve and to work on ourselves. And this is a great time for Aries to really look at that and see, okay, what can I make better? How can I make sure that I work through whatever it is that I'm going through? And with the moon, it's also looking at your emotional self too. And if Aries is in your moon in your birth chart, this is also for you. So you don't have to be in Aries. You could be another sign, but Aries is your moon, is in your moon. Okay, so it's all about healing for you. Okay. So let's move. I'm going to move this way on the chart. So we're going to go to Taurus. Okay. So Taurus right now has Uranus, and has Uranus. I'm looking at Chiron and seeing what I want to say about Chiron. Let's go back to Aries with Chiron. Chiron, you want to, with Aries, spend at least 3 minutes working on your healing. Maybe that's some kind of energy work on healing for Aries. Okay. All right. Let's go to Taurus now. Okay. So Taurus, you have Uranus in your chart. Okay. And with Uranus, you want your freedom. You want to feel as if you can do whatever it is that you want to do. And you have all the right to feel that way. Okay. I'm flipping through my chart as I'm reading for you guys. So you want to feel like you can do anything that you want to do. And you want the privacy to do that. So don't feel like you have to tell someone, hey, I'm going to do this. Don't tell anyone anything. Just work on you. Work on what you want to do. Okay. And wait until it happens and then let them see it, Taurus. Don't mention anything. Okay, third and fourth house issues for you guys. That's the mind. That's the Gemini's house, the third house of what I think and creativity. So really get creative with yourself, Taurus, because you and Gemini are very close. You know, Gemini used to be Taurus in the old charts and is also in the Vedic. So, you know, get really creative. And also, it's a great time for Taurus to really think about your home, redecorating, revamping things. Maybe you thought of doing things a certain way, Taurus, and now you're rethinking how you're doing things. And this is great. Okay. You feel like really empowered. And if you tap into this energy, then you can make positive changes in your home, especially if you have kids and the way you want to raise them. And maybe you want what you're teaching them. Maybe you want to infuse your own homeschooling. For that, you can do that. If you want to redecorate your home to really fit the new vibe that you have, you can do that. So a lot of things that's going on with home and home security and anything like that, like changing up things in your home, that's best for you, Taurus. Okay. And it's a real private time for you. And this is your natural vibe anyway. So you'll want to just make sure whatever you're doing, you take your time and you do that. You don't have to say anything to anyone about anything until it's like all said and done. Okay. I realized that I didn't do the basic reading at the beginning for the full moon, but I'll do it at the end. Okay. Now, Gemini, you have no planets in your sign at the moment. Okay. And that's perfectly fine. You can look over to Sagittarius that has Jupiter. So when I get to Sagittarius, you can listen into on that. So Gemini, the whole thing for you is fourth house issues. Issues with the home, family, anything to do with the home, maybe parents, if you have a good or not so good relationship, something like that. Maybe issues of parenting comes up, or parents, security, your home, just you nurturing yourself in your world. Issues about your world will come up for a Gemini, you know, and just how you feel about it, and how, you know, you could feel more safe about your world. So issues will come up like that. Fifth house issues will come up as well. And it's your own personal creativity and how you feel about what's your next step, what you should do, maybe more fun in your life. If you have kids, issues with that, anything with relationship to make it better. Okay. So it has a lot of fifth house, energy of how best can you really serve yourself with everything that you're doing. Gemini, just staying focused and saying, okay, how can I do this to the best of my ability, and making sure that you are not wasting your time. So that's a huge, huge thing. Okay. Now we're moving on to Cancer. Okay. So with Cancer, and I wanted to, and I don't want to get this off here. Okay. So Cancer, I'm going to put this in here. Okay. Cancer has the North Node. Okay. All right. So Cancer has the North Node. And Capricorn has the South Node. Okay. So Cancer with the North Node, you want to make sure that you are really planning for your future. And this is a big thing for Cancer. Cancer, you've been going through, and this might not apply to all Cancers, but Cancer, you've been going through a time of really changing up your mind and your situation, really planning ahead for your future. So a lot of Cancers will find themselves really looking at their life where they are right now, especially if you are in your 20s and you happen to be a smart Cancer. Then you'll be thinking about yourself and how you can better your future, and changing up your friendship, and changing up your circle, and just making positive career and financial changes in your life. Okay. So this is a huge thing. You have the Fortune in Cancer right now, and you are really thinking about what's best for yourself as a whole, and really looking at everything and trying to make the best choices for yourself. This is the big thing for Cancer. Also, it's a time of looking inward. Even if you're really sociable, if you happen to be Cancer that's really sociable, you're still looking at changing up your situation, okay, to benefit you financially. Okay. Now with Leo, you're having some seventh house issues, anything coming up with your partner, relationships, partnerships, whether it's business or marriage, really focusing on that to make it better, or to close doors on things that needs to end, relationship that needs to end, or making things better in your life. Okay. Virgo. Virgo has no planets, but you are in the 8th house. So Virgo, you're dealing with residual money coming in. You're dealing with, maybe you've helped someone out and then they're repaying you. So you're getting money just from the advice that you've given, or you know, money just coming in from past money that you've loaned to someone. Someone else's money is coming in. Some money is coming in. You're winning a lottery. You're doing something is like that. You're just getting that coming back to you, and that's great. Okay, so all of your creativity and all of your hard work, even if you feel like you didn't get something that, you know, you felt that, hey, you know, you deserve that, you're getting it in another way, and bigger things are coming for you. I feel like, just like for some of you Virgos, a lot of good things are coming towards you. That is, some of it will be a surprise, but most of it isn't, because you and Gemini are ruled by Mercury. When you guys are both in your power and you're doing your thing, things, even when it feels like it's not working the way that you would have wanted to, it still is coming back to you. I forgot to put on my rings. I'm gonna put them on in the next video. Okay, so Libra, okay? Libra, you have Mars, and a lot of Libras will be feeling that energy to really fight for what they want, okay? If you haven't already, okay? You are feeling that you need to go after what it is you want to make your life and things for you better. And a lot of you are doing that. You're thinking a lot about yourself, because, you know, you have, this is your birth, your birth season right now, okay? A lot of Libra's birthday. So when you have Mars and the Sun together, it's really you thinking about yourself, feeling a lot of courage, a lot of insights on where you want to be, and really you overcoming any obstacles that you may have in your life right now. Okay, so really use this energy not in a selfish way, Libra, but more in and a good selfish way too. You know, it's bettering yourself. Some of you might be too caring, too giving, whatever you need to balance it out. For the stronger, each sign has some people who are a little bit weaker, and I'm not saying in a negative way, but just weaker for their own strength, and others that are very strong and bold. Okay, so the ones that are put themselves last, you really need to work on doing things in this life that you might not want to do, but it's what you need to strengthen. It's something that you're running away from. So within your birthday season, Libra, and this is a special one, and I'm taking my time with this, whenever you're in your birthday season, a lot of great things can happen to you. And a friend of mine that was that also studied astrology, older than me, was studying it long before I was even born, said this to me years ago, that when it's your birthday season, it is a great time for, like, let's say luck, okay? But also if you're doing everything right months before your birthday, you start to reap the rewards. It's like your harvest season is your birthday friggin' season. That's your reaping season. You're reaping everything. If you really was doing things right, really listen to your intuition, making the best decisions you can, your birthday season is that prosperity time for you. Okay, so for Libras, and even if you feel like, hey, I wasn't really doing anything great a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, it's a great time to start to, like, revamp and do things that's good for you. Scorpio, you have Mercury and you have Venus. Am I correct? Yeah, I am. Okay, so you have Venus and you have Mercury, and you're in the MC. So a lot of attention is on you, Scorpio, right now, and you can use your essence of your sexuality, your beauty, and balance that out with your communication to really get what it is that you feel you want. Okay, so this is a great time for you to really use your essence and really big yourself up to make more changes in your life that is positive, that is what you want for you. Okay, Sagittarius. And you know, I didn't mention Libras will be having 9th and 8th house issues. So that's also receiving money, Libra, out of nowhere, and also education or travel from the ninth house issues, okay? Or publishing a book, Libra, if you're thinking of writing books and stuff like that, you know, still work on it and put it out there. Anything to do with that legal stuff, it will, you know, really do your research and make sure it works out for you. Okay, back to Scorpio. So Scorpio, ninth house issues and 10th house issues. So ninth house issues could, for some of you, could be travel. For some of you is learning new things. Okay, so you're going to be using this full moon and days around the full moon to learn something that can benefit you. A great time to learn. Ninth house, higher education, really thinking, and doesn't mean that you have to sign up for college or something, but it could be taking a course or learning a trade from someone or learning a new skill over the weekend or this coming week to better yourself. Okay, and the 10th house issues would be you taking power and control of your career, your status in life, always revamping yourself and not taking these changes seriously. If you have more fun with it, you're more attractive than stressing out about things, okay? Yep. Okay, so Sagittarius, definitely some 10th house issues, like I mentioned, career, your status, but that's mostly Scorpio's thing. They're in the spotlight right now. Okay, so Scorpio is having like the luck of career and changing it and revamping themselves and starting over in their career. For Sagittarius, it's more 11th house issues, some 10th house, but most of you 11th house issues where you're dealing with your friendship and your social group, reaping the rewards of being a good friend, or dealing with the consequences of not being a good friend. So you need to make sure that, you know, you're doing right by yourself and other people and not getting caught up in anything that won't serve you or anyone when it comes to social group. Just mind your words, be inspiring to yourself, set goals for yourself, especially if you're unhappy, set goals for yourself to make yourself happy. And, you know, especially if you're not happy, set goals for yourself and focus on that. And it doesn't mean be negative to others or whatever. It's just, or cutting people off. But if that's what you need to do to cut people off to get yourself in the groove of some positive vibes, then definitely do that. Okay. Jupiter, it's really that Jupiter energy of focusing on putting yourself first. It's a good time to tap into your optimism. Sagittarius are very optimistic, even if they've messed up. They're so optimistic, and that's what will pull them out of negative situation or make people forgiving towards them, because they put out that positive energy of being optimists. It doesn't mean that they deserve forgiveness. It's just that it's an energy that you put out. Okay, so keep being optimistic, keep being happy, but actually really feel it inside. So Sagittarius are good at putting on a front of happiness, or, you know, want to create that happy vibe, which is great. I love that. But make sure that you're truly what you're presenting and keep working on that, on yourself. Okay. And under this Aries full moon, even though Sagittarius and Aries can be very competitive, because they're both very two powerful fire signs, just like Libra. They might never be best friends, but they'll admire each other from afar. You know, these three fire signs, right? But this Aries moon, what you can learn is how to put yourself first. And that's what everyone can learn, is how do I put myself first? Okay. So Capricorn, this is like some big stuff. You have Saturn, okay, in the 12th house. In the 12th house of, you know, spirituality, your dreams, seeing things for what they really are more than what others may see it. Make sure always in the 12th house not to sabotage yourself. Self-sabotage is being so spiritual that you're not being realistic. So if you can merge the two, then you can really use that spiritual energy of Pisces to really help you to manifest things into reality that will be purposeful, right? So if on the realistically in the real world, let's say there are good things can manifest, but in the dream world there are great things that can manifest. Now if you can translate that over, then that's going to be great. So Capricorn, this is what you need to do, either in work or relationship or whatever, for fun. you need to make that fantasy date happen, you know, that beautiful date, or make this project at work fabulous by thinking outside of the box. And even if someone doesn't like the idea, they're going to remember that you said at the meeting, oh, we should do this. And then 2, 3, 5 years later, it's the new big trend. And they're going to be like, oh, that person, I got to call them up. Even if you don't work for the company anymore, you might be, you know, that Capricorn, you know, shout out if it is, or Pisces that might get that phone call and like, oh, I got hired again because an idea I had at a meeting years ago is a new hot trend. And now everyone's on me. You know what I'm saying? So really use that. Okay. You have the South Node. So it's really, whatever you're going through, it's what you need to go through to up yourself spiritually another level so that you can succeed in this life or the next, right? So it's really about really getting yourself organized, especially if you're a Capricorn that is not a true Capricorn. And when I say that for all the zodiac sign, when I go not a true Gemini or not a true Capricorn, it means that you are Capricorn on paper, but you have all these other things in your chart that you're like, man, why can't I be good at this great quality of Capricorn? Well, now is the time, because whatever you're fighting against, try to understand it, try to be the best you possibly can at that. And that's your biggest goal. Okay. So whatever you know that you need, but it's a weakness of yours, try to be better at it. Try to be stronger about it. And then you have Pluto also in the 12th house, Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node. So that Pluto energy is going to ask you to say, what can I transform? It's pretty much the same stuff I was talking about with Saturn, right? And the 12th house. It's, when that Saturn and Pluto comes in together, it's being organized, it's being disciplined to yourself to tap into your true power, right? And when you can tap into that true power, you can transform yourself to what you need to be at that moment so you can level up right there, or weeks or months down the road, right? Flipping back to the chart. Okay, so, and this, you're in the ascending, so this is like your time to really be bigger than whatever it is that's going on. Okay, be bigger than whatever you're going through and really shoot through this this moment for you. Okay, let's see. Aquarius. And then Pisces. Aquarius is in the first house. So Aquarius, it's a full moon in Aries, and Aquarius, you're in Aries house, the first house. There is no planets here, but being in Aries house, you can really tap into this full moon in Aries, okay? And you can tap into the energy of the sun, the moon, and that's this triangle of the sun, the moon from my location, along with Pluto and Saturn, and also the South Node, because the South Node is about your reincarnation, your past life. What's the lesson that you need to learn? Okay, so you can tap into that too, along with everyone if they want to. Okay, and I'll get to that again later. So even Capricorn can tap into, like I was telling Capricorn, tap into what you need to learn in this life, because you got that South Node in there. Okay, so very powerful. Okay, now Aquarius, you're in the first house, so you can really tap into the full moon in Aries. Okay, you need to put yourself first. How can I put myself first? You're not putting yourself first for, hey, what do I want that's pleasurable or that I want? It's more of what you need spiritually to grow, what you need in this life to grow. It's a need. And it's never something that you really want to do. Like if you tell a kid, oh, go play video games or go play whatever, but oh no, you really need to study and understand this math or this, or comprehend your grade level of reading. A lot of grown-ups don't want to do what they actually need to do sometimes. And that's like the hard work. That's like the shadow self, right? So that's what we need to work on. And the shadow self is good, because within that is your true strength to really bloom in this life, right? So Aquarius working on self in that house of self. Look at the first house, see what it means for you. See what you can pull, Aquarius, for yourself and what you need to work on. Even if you write it down and you're like, man, I'm not ready yet, at least you friggin' know, right? All right, so moving on to Pisces, okay? So Pisces has Neptune, okay? Beautiful. And Lilith in the second house. The second house is the things that you have, your personal resources. This is Taurus's house. So it's the home. And if you're homeless at this time, you don't have a home, you're going through a transition, you do have a home, and you're just trying to you want to make sure that you feel grounded and secure. Beautiful, wonderful, okay? But get rid of the fear of not having things or feeling like you can't make it in this reality world, because you can, okay? So, whatever you feel like you need to rebel against, always ask yourself why and is it worth it? And then have your own moment of rising up against whatever you feel that is just not worth it for you. But always try to be calm about it, because maybe whatever you feel like you're fighting against that is an injustice or that is wrong, right? Maybe just by voicing your opinion on it, then something positive will come through. Sometimes you don't have to go the whole 10 yards. You could just go 5, and then people will make that change, or the change will happen because they see that, hey, I'm serious about this. This is what I need. This is what is right for me, and so on. Okay. And then looking at the Neptune of it, again, this is your planet. You can tap into your dreams. A great time for you to do a lot of visualization, any kind of meditation that is going to increase your psyche like you need it, right? Or any kind of energy work, stuff like that. Okay, that would be really good for you guys. Okay. And I think that's everyone's chart. So what I wanted to mention that I didn't in the beginning, that I like to throw in here, is that Aries is every zodiac sign has a part of the body that is affected. And for Aries, it is the head, the teeth, the tongue, and the arteries. Okay. And so if you're into energy work, this is a great time to focus in on your body and saying, okay, how do I feel? And really give yourself a checkup. Or if you haven't yet, really, whenever it's your sign, it's time for you to think of your health and how you feel, and maybe just kind of sit still with that. And I'll mention that in my other channel's meditation video. The full moon high peak for my location is at 14:02, and I want to say that's at 2:07. I want to say that's the time. Yeah. And it's 20 degrees, 13 minutes is the full moon. So if you do meditation, at least take 13 to 15 minutes, a time to really sit still and really think about what was said in your chart and see how you can apply it to your life. So remember that this is the astrology. So no matter what sign you are gonna, there's something in your life that will relate to that. If you feel like it doesn't, then if it doesn't relate to your sun, then definitely look, if your moon is in Aries, and really just see how you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling more connected to what's going on in your opposite sign's chart. Okay. For the astrology for this month. So I think that's all I wanted to say to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to stop the video now and do the tarot card pull. And I hope you guys have a happy full moon. Leave some comments, ask some questions, and just keep the comments going on here. That would really be great. So I don't know if you see the other video that I put up, but I got some Halloween stuff here, and I just got this one at Odd Big Lots, and I really like this. So I just want to show that off. I don't know if you can see that. Isn't that cute? I really like that. The picture of it looked really good online. It didn't look like silver. It looked like it was made of copper. It's like a copper plate, but it's really cute. Big Lots. I picked up some really cute stuff that I know that I'll like to use next year, because I usually throw away Halloween decorations. But the ones that I picked up yesterday and previous days, I really like them. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Click like so others can see this video if you enjoyed my astrology reading. So thank you guys. Peace.